Welcome to another bonus episode of Timm Talk, the podcast normally about the DC animated universe, co-created by Bruce Timm. I'm Chris Lord.
I'm Cameron Dexter.
And since it's the new year, we thought we should take a look back upon the garbage fire that was 2018.
Yes.
But through a slightly more positive lens and talking about what our favorite movies were this year.
Yeah.
And also how we thought about the comic book movies overall.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted to, I should have, but as the outstanding unprepared person on the podcast.
Yes, I wouldn't want you any other way.
Yes.
Actually, that's not true. I'd love for you to be more prepared.
No, sorry. I wanted to go back because we made a list at the end of 2017 talking about what we expected the films of 2018 to be.
Oh, fuck, I forgot we did that.
Yeah.
Even more unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
And I wanted to do a comparison. And I guess we can, after we record this, and just post it on social media and act like we know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But we're not cutting this out, so you're going to know our
Nope.
plan. The only thing I remember from my list, I put Incredibles 2 at the top of my most anticipated.
Yeah.
You put Infinity at the top.
Mm-hmm.
I think our list is pretty accurate to what we got. Except I think Spider-Man was clearly the standout film of the year.
Yeah, I think probably for both of us that was low. Because I don't think at that point we knew much about it. I think we just knew that it was an animated Spider-Man
we'd
film.
seen a trailer.
Had we?
But yes, because
Okay.
I remember talking about the art style looked awesome. So I think I put it like middle of the pack
That's right. Okay.
back then.
Oh, that would be interesting to do a comparison. I forgot we did that actually.
Yeah.
Because we didn't think to do that for this upcoming year.
Oh, we still have time.
I suppose we did.
We can speed through these lists and just tack on a third
Tack
list.
it on at the end. Yeah. But no, we figured we'd start by doing our ranking of the comic book movies this year. So we have 10 in total. And let's start at the bottom, work our way up.
I feel like the bottom half are going to be about the same for both of us.
I'm sure. Cameron, why don't you start us off? What's your bottom of the barrel, number 10 comic book movie this year?
Teen Titans Go to the Movies.
Of course it was.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Venom, clearly.
Yeah.
Was
Same.
was the continuation of the garbage fire that was 2018.
It was the nadir of comic book movies this year.
The tennis player?
What? No, a nadir, like something that's really terrible, like the worst of something. What tennis player are you thinking
Isn't
of?
there a tennis player named Nadir?
No, nadir, the lowest point in the fortunes of a person or organization.
Okay.
Who the fuck is Nadir?
I could have sworn there was someone. Whatever, not important. Not going to try and make sports references.
Did you? I mean, I guess there is a tennis.
It's not important.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Okay, I'd never heard that word before. Okay, yes, Venom was
Today
horrible.
you learned.
Yes, thank you for teaching me new words and wrong words.
Yeah, it was fucking awful.
But somehow it's still one of the highest grossing films this year.
I think it made like 700 million.
Yeah.
Oh my god, no
Very loud
more.
today.
Oh, it's my laptop's loud when I type.
Okay.
Also, I'm just very aggressive this morning.
I can tell.
855 million.
That is unnecessary. That is so much more than it deserves.
That just makes me sad.
Mm-hmm.
So sad. Because let me see here. Yeah, 855. Wait, I think it did more than Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I think so. So on the
Okay, yeah.
on the top or on 2018 worldwide gross, it is number 6.
Oh,
Yes, surprisingly somehow beating Mission Impossible.
that's
kinda
tragic.
crazy.
That's really tragic.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Yeah, it did better than Spider-Man: Homecoming. It did better than Wonder Woman. The first Deadpool, which is not super surprising, I suppose. Oh my god, it did better than Thor: Ragnarok.
This is just. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's just so sad. No, I mean, I think we never did an official episode on it, but we've talked about how fucking terrible that movie is.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest problem that came out of it was its box office success. Now it's definitely going to get a sequel with Woody Harrelson and his weird ass wig playing Carnage.
Playing Ronald McDonald.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a bit, that Amy Pascal has claimed that Spider-Man as a character is going to stay with the MCU going forward. but I think they're now going to feel like a little bit more ballsy, be like, oh, like look how successful we were with this movie. Learn no lessons from how terrible it was because they don't need to because it made money.
Right.
And they'll just churn out another even more terrible one. Or they're going to try and strong arm Marvel into including Venom in the MCU, which won't happen. They just won't do it.
Yeah.
Why would they?
So I don't know how much you know about the whole situation, but how are villains being handled between the two of them? Is it just free game for both?
I don't.
Or is it just, I guess Sony just has to approve which villains Marvel can use?
I think so. I don't think there's ever been any sort of official acknowledgement of how that works.
Okay.
I think, as far as I can tell, I think Sony still has everything. So anything in the Spider-Man universe is fair game.
Yeah, Marvel just has to pay them depending on the villain.
Yeah, I imagine Marvel has to go to them like, okay, here's what we're thinking. We want to use this character, and like, okay, sure, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, so we're still getting more Venom. There's gonna be Spider-Verse stuff, which I guess we'll talk about with Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Which is more exciting, but we'll probably still get fucking more weird ass live action spin-offs that are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
What was your number 9?
Hopefully one of them with Johnny Depp.
Oh.
My number 9, which will be no surprise to you, because I could not put it below Venom, was Aquaman.
Same,
Okay.
actually. But so, because...
We also did not get a chance to talk Aquaman.
No, I had fun with it. It's dumb, and I've listened to a couple podcasts talking about it, and the consensus is pretty much it's the most movie ever made.
Yes.
There's just so much happening that you like forget things. And things like big things happen and are never acknowledged again, like the fucking tidal wave that is supposed to like be globally and just dump all the garbage back on land is glossed over within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's like a
They're
submarine
in the middle of the Sahara Desert with no means of transportation, and then suddenly, just within hours, they're at some, fancy city.
They're in Sicily.
They're in Sicily.
Just drinking wine and reading
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
Just right around the corner from the Sahara Desert.
I mean, it's actually not super far, like globally speaking.
When you're on foot,
Like
with
if you
no
get
water.
once you get out of the Sahara, Lord knows how they did that. Then it's
Yes.
just like a short little boat ride, or for them, I guess, a swim, probably.
Yeah, maybe they can be land. Maybe there's land sharks in the Sahara.
But wait, but at that
can
point,
just connect with
Aquaman
them.
couldn't communicate with them yet. It's not to the end that he can.
Oh, that's true. So you
communicate.
found a loophole in my loophole.
I mean, it's a movie that has no logical cohesion whatsoever, and it's what a bit of Black Panther, it's a bit of Indiana Jones, like there's almost like kind of Star Wars-y-esque elements in there.
One of the posts that I enjoyed coming out of it was like, I really want to finish this conversation, but there's explosions happening everywhere.
Yeah, I saw one, and it was a picture of someone getting punched in the face in a boxing match. And the guy getting punched was a conversation in Aquaman, and the glove was an explosion.
So I'll be transparent. Walking out of this film, I was so livid.
You were like,
I was angry.
Yeah.
And I don't get angry very often in movies. I'm very forgiving.
I've never seen you come out of a movie anything shy of like jubilant.
Yes.
Basically, like even garbage films, like it was fun. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
We were reversed on this one.
I was so angry with Aquaman. I've had time to sit and think about it.
Yeah.
And I had a bit of an overreaction, I will say.
I mean, I think your reaction at the time is valid.
Yes.
The
first, if you haven't seen Aquaman yet, the first 10 minutes of the film left such a rotten taste in my mouth that I couldn't enjoy the film after that.
What? I mean, you didn't love Nicole Kidman in a skin-tight white wetsuit?
Well, people there were
battling
there were a
random
handful of
dudes?
interviews with Michelle Williams after Venom came out where she basically said, I did this for the paycheck.
Yeah.
Where's Nicole Kidman saying she didn't even know she was in this movie? Because I don't even want to say she phoned it in, because she didn't, like, she texted it in. She was so beyond like not giving a fuck about anything in this movie.
Well, can you blame her? I mean, I think she's one of like the best actresses working right now. I mean, like think about the year she's had. So she had Big Little Lies, which have you seen that?
I watched the first few episodes.
Okay, it's one of my favorite anything, like movie, TV shows, whatever. Like just one of my favorite pieces of content
'cause
made
it's from
in
your
the last few
hometown.
years. Well, yes, part of it's because it's like my hometown, but it's just gorgeous. And the storytelling's amazing, and the soundtrack's incredible. But she's insanely good in that. So she had that. She had Boy Erased. She had Destroyer, which I haven't seen. I haven't seen Boy Erased either, to be fair. But apparently she's just incredible in Destroyer. I feel like there's other things she was in this year too. She's in fucking everything right now, and she's just like at the top of her game.
And then she takes this.
She does this
where it wasn't just the acting between her and the dad. The writing.
Good old Tamura Morrison, aka Jango Fett.
Yes.
Aka Boba Fett.
Yes.
Aka every single clone.
Yes, except he's gained a little weight.
Yeah, he has. But I mean, he's an older guy.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Guys can do that.
Yeah. Oh, so sad.
The writing in that first few minutes is some of the worst writing I've ever seen in a movie.
There's some bad writing.
And I've watched plenty of garbage in my time.
You love most of it.
Yes, and that shows how bad that intro sequence was.
It
went on forever. It was 10 minutes before we even. It was probably 15 minutes before we even see Jason Momoa.
Look, I don't disagree with you on anything you're saying.
Good.
Like, it's a weird, scattershot, bombastic piece of insanity.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times when it's in on its own joke, and there are times when it seems like it may not be in on its own joke. And so tonally, it's just super weird and crazy and inconsistent. And there is no logic, cohesion throughout most of it. I just was kind of like, this is dumb, but I'm entertained.
Yes, you were more passive about it.
And it's basically, James Wan basically like dangled keys in front of me for 2.5 hours, and I was like,
mm-hmm. I just couldn't. I couldn't handle it after that. It was at that point where I turned into the cynic.
Yeah.
Where I just refused to see anything positive. Where if it was a good thing, I didn't care. But if it was a bad thing,
you were.
Oh man, I was jumping in my chair.
Well, and I think that's kind of what happens with movies, right? It's like either you buy into it or you don't. And so if you buy into it, you'll forgive the flaws.
Yes.
And if you don't buy into it, everything pisses you off. Mm-hmm. And like that was me with Grindelwald.
Yes. Yeah. So I walked out of the theater very similar to how you walked out of Grindelwald. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking back on it, it's fine.
It's fine. It's okay. Do you think?
I still think James Wan was a bad choice.
I don't think he was necessarily.
I think they should have gone for more comedic director. I think because I was hopeful because of and I've brought this up, I don't think on the podcast, but I brought it up to you. There was a great interview with Jordan Peele talking about how setting up a joke is very similar to setting up a scare. So the transition from comedy to horror is easy. Or not easy, but doable.
Yeah, there's some inherent similarities.
And I was hoping the reverse would be that, because James Wan is probably the best horror director we have at the moment. And I'm like, oh, if he knows how to set up a scare, he probably knows how to set up a joke. And he kind of doesn't. And I will attribute more of that to the writing than to him.
Yeah. I think... it's hard to say it's not entirely his fault, because there are definitely some things that are his fault. Like, at the end of the day, the director is supposed to manage the tone, kind of first and foremost, and I don't think.
And also, let's talk about the fucking cinematography, Chris. I'll spare that for a minute. But
no, look, you're not wrong. I think they basically just strapped a camera onto an assembly line arm and just turned it on and let it just swing around everywhere all the time.
Yes, there were 3 shots. For people who want to know, outside of the fight sequences, because some of the fight sequences were fine.
Yeah.
Seeing this in IMAX didn't help either.
Ooh, okay, yeah. I did not see it in IMAX.
I thought...
No, we didn't see it in IMAX.
We did see it in IMAX. Yeah,
we didn't.
We didn't?
No, we saw it at the Sunset Theater. For a second there, I forgot you and I saw it together.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we just saw it in a normal theater.
Okay, well, even worse. There's 3 shots. It's like what they teach you year 1 of film school is you have your setup shot, your mid shot, and your close up shot. And James Wan was just like, yeah, that works. We can do that for $100 million movie. So you had a wide shot for the start of every scene, and then it'd be a medium shot of the 2 characters, and then the most extreme close up you could possibly get on Jason Momoa's face. Or at the end of that hour and 45-minute movie,
hour 20. No, wait, no,
220.
Aquaman 220.
Damn. That makes sense. I could probably draw you from memory every inch of his face after watching that movie with how many close-ups we had.
Wait, what was the movie that came out this year that had a lot of really awkward cropping on its close-ups? I feel like we saw it together.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think it was Aquaman, but it was like I think I saw it relatively recently. Was it Mary? No, it wasn't Mary Poppins. Maybe it was. I think it was Grindelwald actually that had just like really weird cropping.
Yeah, I think it did because that also had a lot of close-up face shots.
Yeah, a lot of close-up shots where it's like there's no headroom, but it's like not even just their eyes. It's like the lower half of their mouth through their forehead.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird. I don't know, but yeah, Aquaman. Okay, broadly speaking, though, do you think Aquaman was a step in the right direction for the DCEU?
Step is a tough word.
A stumble?
A stumble in the right direction.
Like
yes.
they tripped and they happened to fall the direction they should be going?
Yes.
But they still have to pick themselves back up again? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's fine, Cameron. Why do we fall?
To pick ourselves back up.
Yeah.
To watch another shitty Superman movie.
I mean, it's all fucked at this point, isn't it? Like,
and also Aquaman is now the highest grossing DC movie.
Like,
which is not hard anymore. None of them have made $1 billion.
Because the problem is that there's not a single one of them that's great.
Right.
Like the first 2/3 of Wonder Woman are great, but the last third is atrocious. And then like BVS and Justice League are just complete messes, as is Suicide Squad. And Man of Steel, I think, is at least consistent, but it just fundamentally
it's just consistent in the wrong way.
I think Aquaman and Man of Steel are the exact opposite film.
Yes.
Whereas like I think there's some actually good filmmaking happening in Man of Steel, weirdly enough. And I think it's done with kind of sincerity, but sincerity through the lens of a misinterpretation of the character. But it's consistent. Aquaman, I think, understands what that version of the character they're trying to do is, even though it might be a bit of a departure, but it's just a mess. It's just weirdly bizarre all over the place.
And I think this made me worried for Shazam.
Yeah, I'm a little worried for Shazam.
If this is what their comedic hero is supposed to be.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too, just because I like Zachary Levi. I actually just rewatched Tangled, but I mean, I fell asleep through most of it.
How dare you?
The movie is a delight. It was like 10:30.
I don't care, Chris. You watch Tangled when it's on.
It was 10:30. I had just had Chinese food and a single glass of wine, and we all know that one drink spells sleepiness. You need at least two. Actually, no, I did have two.
Just go to the Snuggly Duckling. Have yourself a pint.
I need to go rewatch it again.
Good.
Properly, because I've missed like most of it. But like Zachary Levi is great in that.
He is like he's one of my favorite men. I don't want to say actors because there's plenty of better actors.
Yeah.
But he's one of just my favorite men.
It's okay. You're allowed to say he's like one of your favorite actors because favorite is not necessarily best.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, we like to differentiate these things here.
And so I'm still tentatively excited, but I am now worried.
I'm a little bit worried too because I think at the end of the day there's still no one steering. It's not even so far to call it a ship. Like there's no admirals navigating like that fleet. It's just a whole bunch of like rogue captains going off doing their own thing.
There's no manhunter at the Watchtower.
That's true. They just need a manhunter in this universe in general. Although that's not true. They probably fuck him up.
Well, we have one in Supergirl.
We do have one in Supergirl, and I've only seen him for like literally a hot second in the Elseworlds crossover.
Yeah,
but I love Martian Manhunter. I love him so much.
Should we move on?
Yes, let us move on. Number 8.
I'll put the warning out now. If we haven't had a chance to talk about this in a big crossover, we're probably going to spend a lot more time on it.
Probably, yeah. I think it's fair. Okay. Number 8.
Ant-Man.
Same.
Yeah.
Look at this mojo we got working here.
Starting from the bottom up, it was pretty easy to make the list. It's once I got halfway.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I like all of these.
And I think for me, this is the turning point. Like this is still an overall like good year for movies in terms of comic book movies because I liked Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like I just put it down lower on the list because everything else is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's fine. Like it's fun. I think it's got a lot of great moments. It's I don't know. It's okay.
I'll say the problem that I think everyone had with the film, which was the advertising, which was every fun shot we already saw.
Yeah.
And I think that really lessened the experience. It's kind of the same thing we had with Thor Ragnarok, where like, could you imagine going to see Ragnarok and not knowing the Hulk was going to be in it?
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God.
Like, how fucking crazy would that have been?
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, I guess that's where it gets hard is it's challenging to do that when it's such a major character throughout the plot.
Yeah.
Like, Infinity War was able to pull that off. I mean, I think some of these it's okay. We're going to go into spoilers. They've been out for a while.
Yeah.
It's like Infinity War, they were able to pull it off like Red Skull. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! What, Red Skull's here? Shit, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, also it also comes down a lot to trying to get audience hype. So with Infinity War, they didn't need to advertise that movie, and it was still made a clean $1 billion.
Yeah.
But with
$2 billion.
Ant-Man, you kind of have to have that pull of like, you're like, hey, look, smell these cookies we're making. Come into our store. We have something special. We're not hiding anything from you.
They're just like Abercrombie and Finch. They're just like,
yes, that's exactly what they are. Yeah.
Also, is it Fitch? Abercrombie and Fitch. Fitch. Yeah, just pumping their fragrance out.
Yeah. And they had to do that with Thor because Lost World.
What?
Last World?
The Dark World?
Dark World.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been playing Mario. Dark World did not do well, and so they had to do something to kind of re-energize audience excitement.
Yeah, and so I get it. I get why they have, but I agree with you. Like and it's tough too because you would have to basically keep it a secret that Hulk was in it at all. Because if you knew he was going to be there but didn't necessarily know when, by the time we got to the Gladiator pit, you'd be like, oh, this is probably where we're going to meet Hulk.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you that with Ant-Man and the Wasp, a lot of the best stuff had already kind of been covered, and I think it had kind of just the plot structure and the pacing was a little bit weird too.
Yeah,
it's like based on the trailer, stuff fell in the actual movie in places I wasn't expecting it to, like the whole part with him using the truck as a scooter basically, and him growing out inside the ocean and the bay. I kind of expected that to be like middle of the movie stuff. I wasn't expecting it to be the climax.
Oh yeah.
I think that's like kind of the trick on it, is that the stuff they showed you assumed was going to be
not the end,
middle action sequence, and then you're like, oh wait, no, this is all the climax.
Not the biggest budget piece.
Yeah, and the climax just didn't. I don't know. It didn't have that much at stake. I guess part of it too.
Well, I think another problem was Ant-Man 1 was good because it wasn't hindered by the MCU.
Yeah.
It could literally be its own story. Where this one, it was 80% its own story, but 20% still kind of had to set up something for Endgame.
Yeah, they had to dive real deep into the quantum realm,
Yeah.
which I think that was ultimately what made Edgar Wright leave in the first place, because he didn't want to go down that path. And they're like, well, no, we have to. And given likely where Infinity War is going to go, or Endgame's going to go, you can see why that was so important to set up way back in the day. But it is a weird space to play in.
Yeah.
A little bit. And I was also just surprised that it took so long for Michelle Pfeiffer to show up.
Yeah, she was very end.
Yeah, like really, really far at the end. So, I mean, it was fine. It was fun. It's not one that I'm like itching to go back and rewatch. It didn't stick with me, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Cars 3 of the MCU.
I still haven't seen Cars 2 or 3.
Oh, well, it's not Cars 2. And it's certainly not The Good Dino.
Still haven't seen that yet either.
Don't. Please, no one. I worked on the advertising for that, and I please beg no one go see that movie.
I always love the movies.
If you want to see something like that, go see Land Before Time. If
Littlefoot.
You still want to see something else, go watch Dinosaur, because somehow that is better than Good Dino.
The Dinosaur is pretty bad. But I just love when you actually hate something, how much you hate it. Because you kind of love everything until you don't.
Well, it's different when I work on a film.
That's
because
true.
I'm stuck watching it over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, the two films I hate more than anything are Silence.
Oh, yeah.
Which is Catholic Guilt, the movie. And fucking The Forest.
The Forest?
The Forest was a film that came out early 2016 with what's-her-face from Game of Thrones.
Oh, I vaguely recall this. Also, did you notice that I'm like trying to be real quiet with my typing now?
Yes, please.
So quiet. What's her bucket? How am I blanking on her name? Jeez.
Natalie Dormer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stars Natalie Dormer. Where it's her and her twin sister, or her twin sister is lost in the not Akihabara, that's the name of the city.
The Suicide Forest.
Yes,
in Japan. Because I remember.
Akihara.
Yeah, because I think there's an interesting idea there, but I heard the movie just didn't execute well.
It was garbage. It was
Yeah.
one of the worst. I think it's at like an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty deserving. Yeah, it's the Suicide Forest, for people who don't know. In Japan, at the base of Mount Fuji, there's a forest that has been deemed the Suicide Forest because it kind of has a lot of deep history and weird kind of mythology behind it.
Yeah.
But for generations, it's been basically like back in the day, if you had an old person in your family and you couldn't afford to take care of them, you would just drop them off at the forest.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then that kind of converted, and then there was all these spirits haunting it because your ancestors would literally just die in a forest, and so then it became the place where people would hang themselves. And the infamous YouTube video,
Logan Paul.
yes, Logan Paul, he was in the Suicide Forest when he found the body. And kind of the mythology behind it is, since it is the base of a volcano, there's a lot of magnetic irregularities there, so it's very easy to get lost. It's very tall trees, and so once you kind of get off the path, you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah,
because it's very hard to get back.
Ah, it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really unique place in the world,
yes,
and that can often make for good concepts as storytelling becomes tough. I think the only thing I've ever read that involved it was the novelization of You Only Live Twice, the James Bond story.
Okay.
Because the movie and the book are very different, but in the book, basically Blofeld has like gone off to some Japanese castle, and Bond goes after him, and the castle is next to, I don't know if it's actually the forest itself or like a garden that serves a similar purpose, but it's basically like people go there to like submerge themselves in like lava flows to kill themselves.
Okay.
But it's also Ian Fleming, so it's done with the sort of cultural sensitivity that he's so well known for.
Yes. Well, also, did you know if you try and submerge yourself in lava, you actually won't. You'll float until you melt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting because you are less dense than lava.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lava's pretty fucking thick.
Yeah.
Have you ever been next to a lava flow?
I've not.
I haven't either. I've been across like cooled lava flows out in Hawaii, but I've never like next to an active one. Should do that sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take a nice trip to Hawaii.
Yeah.
What's next on our list?
Number 7.
Bumblebee.
Oh, okay. All right.
You have Deadpool?
I have Deadpool too.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do Bumblebee 6 for me.
Okay.
So let's do Bumblebee.
Let's do Bumblebee. It was fine.
It's fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a lesser Iron Giant, as I told everyone.
I agree. I absolutely agree with
that. Fun soundtrack. And any kind of period piece. I think after the boom of Edgar Wright and Guardians.
James Gunn.
Thank you. James Gunn and Edgar
Doing
Wright.
great.
I think we kind of have a boom of like themed soundtracks now.
Yeah.
Where just kind of every film is jumping on that trend, and this is it's a good trend to be on because it's kind of hard to mess up a themed soundtrack.
Yeah, I actually meant to go back and track down like a Spotify playlist of the soundtrack and listen to it because there's a lot of really good stuff on there. I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. I am an apologist for the first Transformers movie, the one from 2007, because I think that movie, again, it hits my criteria of it knows what it wants to be and it succeeds at it. Like, it's got, at the time, visually stuff we'd never seen before. The action was pretty damn good. I thought most of the comedy was done fairly well. And Shia LaBeouf was fine. He wasn't overly grating as he later became.
Yes.
But this has what the first one didn't, which was heart. Like,
Yes.
this is actually like a much sweeter story. And also, I think it just really showed visually how impressive this stuff can be because, like, the opening sequence in Cybertron, holy shit.
It was awesome.
Like, my jaw was open for, 10 minutes? Just scraping across the floor because it was visually spectacular. And all of the robots this time around have a distinct look and color palette, unlike in previous movies. So you can actually kind of differentiate them.
Yeah.
And the fights weren't just like shooty, bang, bang, but it was actually like them grappling.
Yeah.
Like, they were physical fighters. So you could see like, oh, these are like competent combatants.
Well,
competent soldiers.
I think the reason they couldn't get away with that in the first few films is the same reason they tried to do it in Venom, or with what they did in Venom, where it's just blobs of metal when they fight. And this one, since they did have the color palettes, you could watch two blobs of metal fight and still have a rough idea of, oh, that one's Bumblebee, that one's Starscream.
Who's who? Well, I think it helps too.
The other one.
Blitzwing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the name of the other two. I don't know if that's ever actually been mentioned, but
They
I think
are.
part of it too is that this was a much smaller story in terms of scale,
Yes.
which helps a lot. Like that means that you can actually focus on individual characters, and I think this time too the robots felt like characters. I mean, Bumblebee was kind of similar to the way he's always been, but I think he just was a lot sweeter.
Mm-hmm.
I think just he had like a softer approach too, especially being in his beetle form. But I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really sweet. It's fun, like you said, good soundtrack. I liked Haley Steinfeld in it.
I really enjoy her.
Yeah.
I feel like she doesn't get enough credit as an actress or singer.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know. Even I am kind of one to maybe kind of dismiss her sometimes because she does a bit of both, and you're always just like, oh, you're just trying to hit all of the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to be like this pop star who also acts, but she was an actress first.
Yeah.
No, and I think she's really good.
Did you ever see Edge of 17?
No.
Her and Woody Harrelson. That's a great
really
one with
wanted
her.
to.
Yeah.
That was last year, I think, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that was on my list of movies I really wanted to see, and I missed it because it looked fantastic.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's nice seeing Woody Harrelson just be a fucking asshole.
Because and I think that's the great thing about him is that he's one of those actors that has a natural charm.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you give him a role that has a bit of bite to it, it actually almost works even better because you're like, oh man, fuck you, but also I like you.
Well,
I like the cut of your jib.
Yeah, it's the story you see over and over again where it's like the high schooler that doesn't have any friends, so she tries to befriend her teacher, and the teacher starts off being hesitant, but then kind of warms up to the idea. No, he's just an asshole the whole way through.
I love
He's
it.
like, no, you're a fucking student. Get out of my office. I'm trying to have lunch.
Yeah.
I don't care about your problems. I have my own problems. So get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, Mr. D, you're so funny. I'll be back tomorrow. It's like, no, get the fuck out of here.
Plus, I love that idea too because it's playing off of those tropes.
Yeah.
And it's doing it in a clever way. No, I thought she was good. I liked John Cena in this too.
Yeah, it was because he starts off being his normal rock parody.
Yeah.
But then he's like, oh, he jumped straight from like Fast and Furious 5 Rock to Fast and Furious 7 Rock.
Yeah, he
Flip that.
Yeah.
7 to 5, yeah.
Yeah, he starts out with like the total self-serious badass, but then he does kind of soften up over it. And I was surprised, this isn't really a spoiler, but I was surprised how antagonistic he is in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he's never been an antagonist.
No, and he's not a
John
villain.
Cena.
He's John Cena. Yeah, he's like not a villain per
He's
se,
Ferdinand.
but oh my god, right? He's fucking Ferdinand. But I was surprised by the role that he takes in this, and he's still really good in it. And then the mom is played by Pamela Adlon, who's one of my favorite actresses. She's in Californication.
Of course she is.
No,
Wait, have you seen Californication?
no, I've never seen it.
Oh, the first 4 seasons are great. But after that,
You should watch Avatar sometime, man. It's the best.
really, what's that about?
I don't know. Something involving wind.
How dare you?
No, I was pleasantly surprised by this. Now, I hope it gets a follow-up.
I think it will. How's it box office wise? How's it doing?
Not great, I think. I mean, the problem is it came out at a time when
It was competing with everything.
it's competing with Aquaman, Mary Poppins. Those are the two big ones. Spider-Verse, I think, is still doing decently
Wreck-It
well.
Ralph was still in theaters.
Oh yeah, I finally watched that.
Oh, what do you think?
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Third act really doesn't work.
Yeah, not as good as the first one.
No, but I will say that the middle section, when they're actually on the internet, it has a lot of fun playing in that world.
Well, so the act 3, actually my programmer friends love that the most because that's the best interpretation of a DDoS attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's you're cloning one message a million times until it overloads the server.
Oh.
And they're just doing that with all over the internet.
Oh, so they're just doing that, but with a really ham-fisted theme.
Yes.
I will say, though, all the Disney stuff that could have been, like, nauseatingly self-promotional was done in just the right kind of way to make it kind of clever and fun.
I think because we'd seen it all already.
Well, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's even better in context.
Yeah.
Like, all the stuff with the princesses, it's really, really good.
I know.
That whole sequence is amazing.
I'd seen that whole sequence 2 years ago at
Oh, that's
D23.
right, at D23, yeah.
And so it was so nice to finally see all of it.
Yeah, it's fine. I think it's worth seeing.
Yeah.
I watched it as a screener.
Oh.
Yeah. I didn't see. I kind of.
You don't want to give Disney your money?
No, I wanted to see it in theaters. I just didn't have the time back then. But I'm like, trying to do end of the year catch up on all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But no, Bumblebee, really fun. If the other Transformers movies have burned you out, I'd say definitely go see this.
Yeah.
I think as long as you go in just wanting to have a nice time and be entertained.
Yeah, it's a good refresh.
Yeah, and I think its flaws are forgivable because it's a good concept to buy into. So then Deadpool 2.
Yes.
Have you watched it since it came out?
I've not.
I haven't either.
It was kind of hard to because 2018 was such a long year.
It was the longest year.
Yeah.
The longest year. And this came out a long time ago.
Yeah, it came out June.
I have listened to the soundtrack a shitload. My Spotify top 2018 playlist definitely had on If I Could Turn Back Time and 9 to 5. Those are both on there. Wait, what was? Oh right, yeah, it was Mary Poppins Returns. Where we both share. Yeah. It was fun.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember really enjoying it when I watched it. And that's why it was kind of hard to place on this list.
I think that's kind of how I feel about most of this year, where I enjoyed it when I watched it, but it didn't really stick with me.
Yeah.
I just kind of brushed it off afterwards. And I was like, oh, that was a pleasant experience, but it's not one that I really gravitate back towards. It's definitely got some great moments in it.
Brad Pitt.
Yes, Brad Pitt in that is
for a whole 10 frames.
Fantastic. I like how they did the Juggernaut. I love that we finally got a Juggernaut Colossus fight, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought the jokes were
Cable
mostly
was good.
There. Yeah, Cable was really good in it, actually. Josh Brolin, man.
What a year.
Again, a banner year for Josh Brolin. It just goes to show that you can be a great actor and be in these movies and still bring it.
Yeah.
Sort of in the opposite of Nicole Kidman. But she also didn't have much to work with. I think Brolin had the benefit of two really interesting characters to work with. It's also crazy, too, that as good as he in this, he's still better in Infinity War.
I know.
And he's a motion he's full CGI. He's a motion capture character, and he's so damn good. We'll get to that. I'm cutting myself off here because I'm going on too many tangents. I don't know.
We have a whole podcast about it already.
It's fun.
Go listen to that, and we'll talk
it's
about
fun.
how you liked
It's
it.
fun.
Yeah.
What's your number 5?
This is when it got very hard for me.
This is where it gets tough.
Kind of 5, 4, and 3 are all kind of the same for me.
Okay.
I put 5 as Incredibles 2.
Interesting.
Yeah, it hurt. It really hurt me to put it that low.
Okay.
Because Incredibles 1 is my favorite Pixar film.
Yeah. Oh, very, very interesting. Okay, well, we're not going to talk about that yet because it's higher up on my list.
Okay, what's your 5?
My 5 is Teen Titans Go.
That's my 4. We'll talk about that one then.
Okay, let's talk about Teen Titans.
I want to put it higher because, as I mentioned before the podcast, when I wrote my top 5 favorite movies of 2018, I kind of rewrote my list of what surprised me the most in 2018.
Okay, yeah.
And I think Teen Titans Go was maybe the best surprise I got all year, minus Spider-Man. Yeah. But this movie blew me away.
Yeah.
I love Teen Titans Go so much.
It's really, really fun and funny, and I think
it's made for us. It's made for the people that don't necessarily watch the show but love the universe. And they just handed us every joke we wanted.
I feel like it's not quite the same, but in some ways Teen Titans Go to the Movies was this year's Deadpool.
It absolutely was.
Yeah. Even though we had a Deadpool this year. I think because it flew under the radar, I don't think anyone had expectations for this. Certainly neither of us did. And yeah, it was just...
It also did not do well in the box office.
No, which is sad.
It's very sad.
But I think, Spider-Verse is kind of similar too in this regard, where it's look what happens now when you can play in a world where people understand these worlds already. People already mostly know the characters. They kind of understand the tropes and the structures. And so you can go a lot deeper into kind of comic book space.
Well, I want to compare it a lot to Lego Batman. Where Lego Batman kind of made those jokes with Warner Brothers of hey, look at all the stuff we own.
Yeah.
Teen Titans, it kind of took that humor and brought it to the next level of hey, we've been around since fucking 1931.
Yeah.
We're gonna make some deep cut jokes. If you don't get it, that's fine.
The challengers of the unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Like, if you don't get it, cool. The person next to you is going to get it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this is kind of what Wreck-It Ralph was doing, that middle section with all the Disney stuff, too.
Yeah.
But not quite as wry, I think. But I mean, like, all the mustaches.
The fucking mustaches were the best thing I've ever... I think it's the best joke I've ever... At least in 2018 was the best joke I saw in a movie.
Yeah. And maybe that's it. It's
The
like,
fact that when it cut back, they were gone made it so...
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I watched the movie 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
And I honestly think the mustaches were a joke that was not meant to be left in.
Okay.
Because they're only in frame for a few seconds, and they'll cut and then cut back to that shot, and then they'll be gone.
Now, are they like gone, or are they gone, but like they're like...
No,
because that would have been
even
even better,
better.
if they cut back and it looks like someone tried to go through and erase them, but there's still like fuzz left over.
I think
like
there was one
paint smears.
where they like taped over it.
Okay.
they just put something to hide it.
And I think maybe that's part of the tone of the movie, is that none of those things feel mean.
Yes. I mean, we we saw them kill Martha and Tom and Thomas. There's a whole 20-minute segment that means nothing. I feel like was an episode they pitched and Cartoon Network said no. And like, fuck you, we're gonna put it in a movie instead.
Yeah, you could take that whole sequence out entirely and it wouldn't change the story. But
At all.
It's so funny. Like that
The theme song was done by Michael Bolton.
I forgot that.
Yeah, if you want to talk about a movie that's meant for our generation.
You got the Michael Bolton in there, the Back to the Future reference, which was so good.
It wasn't even just a Back to the Future. It was a Rad reference. Rad was a movie, was a BMX movie before BMX was a thing.
Oh, I forgot
it was
that.
kind of the predecessor of Brink.
Okay.
But that was the whole joke.
Oh, well, I mean, there's also Back to the Future in there too, though.
Yeah, but them having to like charge up.
Oh, okay.
They're doing tricks to kind of charge up the rad meter in order to travel back in time. Yeah,
it's just really fun. I think that's one I need to go back and rewatch that.
Mm-hmm. I'll say it now. Spoilers for my list. That was number 6 on my
top 5.
Movies
Understandably so. Okay, so then we still need to talk about Incredibles 2, but we'll go down a little ways. So what's your number 4?
Teen Titans was 4.
Oh, okay. Okay, my number 4 is Black Panther.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your number 3?
Black Panther.
Okay. We're talking about Black Panther.
Yeah.
I actually had a hard time placing this.
Because it came out so long ago.
It came out a year ago, basically, at this point.
It came out 17 years ago.
I know. I mean, I'm not even sure what to say about it. It's just really, really well made. I was talking with a friend last night about it, and he really hated it. He thought there was nothing new or inventive or original happening. And I can't entirely disagree, but I think the way I put it was, there's nothing super original happening, but everything that's on screen feels very fresh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it has the same problem that a million podcasts and YouTube videos have talked about, where it's the end fight is just main character fighting negative main character.
Yeah. But again, I'll give them credit for, in that sequence, having done such a good job with Killmonger leading up to that point.
Yeah, I mean, Killmonger is the 4th best villain we have.
So what? Thanos, Loki,
I put Vulture,
and I think those are the 4 that are actually like, they're. I mean, Loki's not right, but he's just so charming that you want to spend time with him on screen. But no, I mean, I think Thanos, he's not right, but you get where he's coming from. And then Vulture and Killmonger, they're right. They're right.
Just handling it in the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly. You get where they're coming from, but both their means and their ends aren't quite there. Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think Vulture is a slightly stronger villain than Killmonger because
Michael Keaton. I think
he's a little bit more sympathetic too. I think you kind of lose sympathy for Killmonger towards the end.
Yeah.
But he is a great character. This is Michael B. Jordan.
I know. Have you seen Creed yet?
No.
Not worth it.
But Creed 1 or Creed 2?
2.
I haven't seen either one of them. I need to watch. But I also
Creed 1's great.
I haven't seen most of the Rocky movies.
That's fine.
I think I've only seen actually Rocky Balboa in its entirety, and the other ones I've seen bits and pieces of.
One of my favorite Simpson jokes, I'll go on a quick tangent.
How dare you?
Is Bart is lost in a cave, and the caves are numbered with Roman numerals, but he hasn't learned that yet.
Okay.
So he has to use the Rocky numbering to find out which cave to go down.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's 7 caves. And he has to find what 7 is.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, well, Rocky 5 plus Rocky 2 equals Rocky 7. All right, let's go.
So good. Like I think the reason I haven't watched Creed yet is it's a franchise to catch up on. And in some ways it's a hard franchise to catch up on because basically all but one of the films is worth watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rocky 1 through 4 are pretty much all held in high regards, even if they get kind of cartoonish towards the end of that.
Yeah.
Rocky Balboa was, I thought, really good. And then I've heard Creed's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like, I got to settle down for 6 movies.
There was a YouTube series that I just found that was done by College Humor, where a few years ago they did fictional fight 30 by 30.
Okay.
So do you know the 30 by 30 series?
No.
ESPN does.
Wait. I think we go on.
Yeah, so ESPN does a series where they kind of spend 30 minutes talking about an iconic game or athlete or something.
Yeah.
And so College Humor kind of made a parody of that, talking about, and I watched the one about Rocky 4.
Oh, that's awesome.
Where they're talking about like Apollo Creed was he was in dancing shape, but he was not in boxing shape. Like he was winded after his dance number before the fight. And I would just be on record, because they do it very seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to go on record that you should not have dance numbers before a boxing fight. I think it puts you in the wrong headspace. And they're like, this is boxing. And then they're talking about Rocky fighting what's his face,
Ivan Drago.
And they're like, this is one of the worst defensive fights I've ever seen. Like they're landing 90% of their major blows, and they're just standing up just fine after that. And then they cut to one guy. He's like, you want to know how hard they're throwing their punches? I haven't completely missed a punch, but just the pure pressure of that made Rocky fly back. And they showed a clip where they were doing their choreography, and he clearly missed Rocky, but Rocky was
still
Stallone still faked being hit. And they're like, that's how powerful these punches were. It's really good.
So just go watch that instead of Black Panther.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Black Panther is amazing. I've said before, I love the James Bond sequence in Korea.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it's a step in the right direction in terms of like tone and characters for the MCU, and it definitely continued their streak they're on right now. Oh, did the streak? I guess you could. Do we just ignore Ant-Man and the Wasp and say they're still on a streak? Okay, let's just do it.
And it's funny how companies have guessed wrong over the past few years with like what to focus on.
Yeah.
Because with Infinity War, they didn't focus much on Black Panther because they didn't expect it to be a success. Justice League, they didn't focus a lot on Wonder Woman because they didn't expect it to be a success.
Yeah.
And then with Defenders, they expected Iron Fist to be a success. So they put all their monies in that bag.
Yeah, we're going down the Iron Fist rabbit hole. Bad choice. Okay, so what's your number 3?
With Black Panther.
Okay, right. So
your 3 is Incredibles 2?
No, my 3 is Spider-Verse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So what's your number 2 then?
Infinity War. Spider-Verse is my number 1.
Okay, Infinity War is my number 2.
Incredibles is your number 1.
Yeah, all right.
Wow.
So okay, we're going to talk Infinity. So what? Infinity War, Spider-Verse, Incredibles 2. Okay, so Infinity War. God, what more is there to say about this movie?
Again, we recorded a whole podcast on this already.
Yeah, we're already... Of course we are. We're getting long-winded. Yeah. I think the best thing to say about this movie is this should have been a fucking disaster, and instead it is incredibly good.
Yes.
Like, it is impressive in its accomplishment.
It was 18 films led up to this. 10 years.
Yeah.
And they're still going strong.
Yeah.
They made a villain who... They didn't, like... They've had a villain in the works for basically 7 years. Since 2011.
2012.
2012 was Avengers, yes, sure.
Yeah. And even then, that was just a cameo. So really not until 2014 did he have proper screen time with this actor.
Oh, yeah, it was a different actor in the first one. I forgot.
Yeah, it's just some dude.
It's just Kevin Feige.
Yeah. Still wearing his hat. His signature hat.
No, but he put it on his chin.
Yeah, he like ducked it down. Bill went under his shirt.
Yeah, like I said, we can't talk about this film anymore. We've exhausted ourselves on Infinity War.
It's one that I think I saw it twice in theaters.
Same.
I want to go back and watch it again, obviously, before.
I watched it. I got the Blu-ray, and I watched it again recently.
Yeah, I need to watch it again before Endgame.
And it's just all the jokes are so good.
Yeah,
all the action sequences are so good.
I think there's something said though for the Marvel films that some of them are hard to go back and rewatch, if only because there's so much happening and they're so long. Like Civil War, it's easy to forget. But Civil War is amazing because it feels like it came out such a long time ago, even though it was only 2 years. But that's a great movie. But it's also like it's not a slog to get through. All of it's good, but you're like you got to sit down and invest yourself. To be there for like 2.5 hours.
I think everyone just focuses so much on the airport fight, and you're like, wait, that's an hour 45 minutes into the film.
Yeah,
what happens before that?
I know, right? But it's all good though. It's all really good setup, and then that's a movie too that. Not only did it have an amazing middle action sequence, like the big action set pieces, of course, the airport, but that final fight between Bucky and Cap and Iron Man.
Oh man, that was so good.
And I think because they held on to the emotional stakes, and it was I think with Infinity War they were holding on to like the really climactic battle to the end. Boy, does it fucking pay off!
And they play with pacing in that last battle. The pacing is so good in Civil War, where like usually it's just very. Since Bourne Identity, every fight has just been punch, punch, cut, cut, punch, punch, cut, cut, punch, cut. Where this one, like, it was drawn out. Like, they set the camera up far, and they just, made the actors go through the whole fight sequence.
Well, I think,
and they'd slow down parts of it. When it cut in, it was very fast paced, and it was wide. They kind of, it was.
I think it just goes to show they understand spectacle. I think it's part of like DC's problem is they don't understand it. Like Aquaman, it's so much going on, but it's not done well. Whereas with Marvel, in terms of just the scale of the movies, but like you're talking about even the scale of the scenes of the shots, like they know how to give it rhythm and where to let it breathe. And I mean, I think a lot of that actually comes down to the Russo brothers. You're talking about if you can do comedy, you can do like
everything.
You can do everything because they understand rhythm. Like they cut their teeth doing comedy, and that's everything is in terms of timing and rhythm and pace. And when you can transition that into just broader storytelling and action, it really pays off. And Infinity War, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Like I said this before that I thought instead of doing the most popular film, the Oscar should have done like best achievement in filmmaking, or just like broadly speaking, like what's a movie that came out this year that delivered something we'd never seen before.
I'm sure it's going to get some honorary Oscar.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
What would they give it? There's no honorary Oscar to give. Are they just going to give like the honorary Oscar for having like a franchise capstone? Like there's nothing to give it.
Yeah.
But I mean like
they can make one up.
But I think in a year like 2018 where you got stuff like The Quiet Place or like Black Panther, Crazy Rich Asians, Infinity War, these are all movies that kind of like pushed cinema forward in a little bit. But I think Infinity War did it in a way that nothing else ever has, and frankly never will again, because they did it first and they did it basically perfectly. It's great. Okay, so then Spider-Verse.
It blew me away because I've seen this movie 4 times.
Oh my god! See, I've seen it once. I feel like I need to go see it again.
It's so good, and like usually when I say I watch movies a bunch of times in theaters, one, I didn't have Movie Pass anymore, so I paid for 4 or 3 because my mom paid for one.
Right. Yeah.
But I paid for this movie 3 times.
Yeah.
And it's so good that I'm just as excited watching it every time. The emotional punch hits me every time.
Yeah.
Just like it's an artistic masterpiece.
It is. And I've been trying to tell people who aren't into Spider-Man or comic movies or even animation, like you got to go see it because there's never been anything like it ever done.
Yes.
Visually, but also the story is still really good and it throws pretty serious emotional punches and it throws them well.
It's kind of the same thing with Infinity War, where the movie doesn't dumb itself down for the audience. Literally, their explanation of the multiverse is done in the background of another scene happening.
Yeah.
It's when Miles first meets Gwen, they're explaining the multiverse on TV behind them while they're talking.
As they're having conversation.
Which I think is fucking hilarious.
And I think that
where every movie every movie or TV show that's tried to handle multiverse, there's a whole episode dedicated to like well, this is how it works.
Yeah.
You have this and then this. Like, well, what about this? Well, you also have this.
Yeah. You get
Just
movies
because
like The One with Jet Li.
yes. But I just remember when Flash tried to deal with multiverse. And it was an entire episode talking about what it is before they could even go into it. And this one's literally in 3 minutes. They're like, oh, yeah, I decided to wear pink today. I also decided to wear green in some other universe.
Yeah, that's all it really takes. And I think having confidence in your audience stems from having confidence in your film. And you're like, people will get this.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty straightforward. People understand. Or part of it too is that the multiverse hopping, it's central to the story, but it is also kind of background to the emotional story they're telling with the main character. And just, it's also thematically very consistent.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really damn good.
So good.
And I think we're working on this. We're trying to make a full episode happen about Spider-Verse. So,
Because I have so much to say. I'm holding myself back.
Yeah.
Because I have so much I want to say about this film.
I know. I need to see it at least one more time, but we're going to try and get that out hopefully soon. We're going to find someone to do that with. Because it is really fantastic. And actually, I should have included that in my list of movies that like push cinema forward. So I think, again, in terms of just visually, in terms of storytelling.
It took them over a year. So I don't know if you watched any behind the scenes stuff about this yet. It took them. They had 3 designers. It started off with 1 designer, and they brought it up to 3. And it took them over a year just to get the look and 10 seconds of the film done.
I can believe that. Yeah, it's. I don't even know what more to say about it other than just visually, it's so
It's astounding.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
I was trying to go through all of the different Spider-Man iterations. I'm like, it's spectacular. It's amazing. It's ultimate.
It's ultimate. It's ultimate. Yeah, it's incredible. You know what else is incredible?
Venom?
Incredibles 2.
Oh, that one. That's not. Wait, Venom's not your number 1?
No, it came very, very close.
Very
and
close.
I decided
You put
to
a
put it at
0
the
after
bottom
that
of,
instead.
Yeah, exactly. Put it at the bottom of the list.
It started off as number 1, but then I put a 0 after that.
Quickly fell at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think part of the reason for me that Incredibles 2 took the top spot was it's the film of all these I've seen the most. I've seen it 3 times now.
Okay.
And I just rewatched it over the holidays with my parents. And I think it's the best possible sequel we could have gotten. I don't think it has the same sort of groundbreaking element that Infinity War or Spider-Verse does. But I just think it's just really solid. It's a movie that's filled with moments that I love. And it never feels slow for me. It doesn't have the same sort of like rapid pace as the first one and the clean linear storytelling.
Yeah.
But it's just really damn good.
It's so good. It's so fun. Everything with Jack Jacks is fun.
Oh, the Jack raccoon sequence.
This
This was your number
is my number 5.
5.
And that really hurt. But
it's below Black Panther even.
I'm thinking about changing it up. This talk has made me.
Well, if
question
only
a
we
lot.
hadn't chiseled our selections into these stone tablets we're reading off of, you could do that.
Yes. But I'm gonna stand by my list for now.
No, as you should.
Stand by it.
Stand by your man.
No, Incredibles 2 was amazing. It's incredible. It's like the Edna sequence is amazing. The Jack sequence is amazing. The kind of political conversation of doing what's right, even though everyone says is wrong, is
really
fun,
socially
and
relevant, but also done in a fun way. Yeah.
We brought this up in the podcast when we talked about this in the podcast. The way they handle an elastic superhero is stuff that I'd never seen before.
Like
and it
with
was
the bike?
so with the bike, yeah. It was so good and so smart, and they kind of evolved that character into something new that now everyone can play with, because every franchise has some stretchy person.
Yeah.
And it's such a good movie. Like I said, it hurt me to put it so low, but I said, 5, 4, 3 are basically all like it's a tie for third place for me.
And I think that speaks more to the quality of the stuff we got this year than necessarily any flaws with Incredibles 2.
Yes.
It has some flaws, but it is still amazing as a film. And so I think this year goes to show between Spider-Verse and Incredibles 2, maybe animation is the better place for this stuff.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. And at the same time we say that, we acknowledge that Infinity War basically did what I guess Justice League before it has kind of done in terms of like bringing in all these disparate characters from multiple shows and having it be like a cohesive story. But frankly, Infinity War even did it better.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still room for live
just imagine
action.
if Bruce Timm worked on Infinity War.
No, because then somehow in that universe, Batman would still be dating Batgirl, and it would be weird.
Yeah.
But I think there's definitely still room for live action superhero stuff. But I think the bar is set so high now that you really gotta keep up with it.
Yeah.
And I think this year with Incredibles 2 and Spider-Verse, I mean, that's on par with the best. I think some of the best animated movies ever made.
Yeah.
So some of the best animated superhero movies, which I think, I mean, is it Phantasm, Incredibles 1? I'm not sure which one would be the best superhero animated film.
I mean, they're all great.
Amazing. But
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm hoping we're gonna get more. We know from Sony we're gonna get more Spider-Verse spinoffs, which I'm going to be tentatively excited about.
I'd love a Spider-Gwen movie. I'd love kind of the same thing DC's said they're doing with Sirens.
Oh,
I'd love
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, sorry, Birds of Prey.
But it's basically Gotham City Sirens,
Yeah.
but in the guise of Birds of Prey.
I'd love for like Silk to pop up and
Well, yeah. So I think we're gonna get Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, Gwen Stacy, and Silk as a spinoff.
okay.
And then they're looking at doing an actual Spider-Verse sequel to mostly focusing on Miles and Gwen.
I'd love for 2099 to pop up.
Oh yeah, that would be a lot of fun too. No, I mean these were really, really good animated movies. I'm glad to see animation kind of getting its due. It's too bad they're not 2D animated. That's a whole separate conversation we could have about how amazing 2D animation is. We mostly talked about it with Mary Poppins, but these are still amazing films.
Yeah.
Now, so I'm curious to see, though, how many of these movies ended up on your top 5. Hey, everybody. So this conversation ran long as we're doing our 2018 year in review.
Surprise, surprise.
So we decided to cut it into 2 pieces. And what we're going to do now, having gone through our top listing of comic movies of 2018, we're now going to just look forward to 2019 and
our predictions.
Give our predictions and thoughts. And then the rest of our year in review, so our basically our top films of the year, will be in a follow-up podcast coming out in a little bit.
Yes.
So look forward to that. It's entertaining. It's fun.
Welcome to the cliffhanger.
Exactly. Oh, this is our first cliffhanger, I think.
So.
Ooh, how exciting.
Yeah. Deal with it.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, so we're looking ahead at 2019. We got a lot of...
Not looking as bright as 2018.
No, not really. I see 3 movies I'm excited about, and guess what, Cameron? They're all Marvel.
Surprise, surprise.
What a shock. Okay, but looking forward, 2019. First up, Captain Marvel.
As we've mentioned before, I'm tentatively excited. I have...
Same.
It can honestly swing in either direction. It can be really good or really bad.
I don't think it's going to be really bad. I have enough faith in Marvel at this point that I don't think they're making bad movies. Captain Marvel.
Sorry. I was thinking Shazam. No, I think Captain Marvel is going to be
the
great.
other Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really good.
I'm in the middle of rewatching Young Justice, and they still refer to him as Captain Marvel.
Of course.
I got a flip in my head. Captain Marvel, I think, is going to be great. I am very excited for this one.
I'm also excited. I think it's going to be big. I think a lot of stuff is going to happen that's going to set up Endgame and also set up where things go in the future.
I mean, it's being pitched as kind of having like an unusual hero story.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited for, because that's also
Same.
what we just got with Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there are times when Brie Larson feels a little bit flat, but I think part of that's also just the way her character's set up, because there's clearly some sort of like amnesia thing going on there.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to having Sam Jackson as a front and center character. That de-aging is amazing.
Well, I mean, it's Sam Jackson. It doesn't take
I mean,
a lot
that's
of
true.
work.
Yeah,
he hasn't
he has
1997.
That's true. So I mean, it's super easy to just do a little bit of tweaking. But yeah, he looks awesome. I think it's going to be a pretty fun, epic movie. I'm pretty excited about it.
I think so.
It's going to be good.
I know, and it's going to set up the grand finale, and so that'll be really exciting.
Yeah, I think a lot is going to happen. I don't think it's going to be like a little blip like Ant-Man was between the Avengers movies. I think it's actually going to be huge in terms of what goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where are we going to see? Like, the Skrulls? Are they setting up Secret Invasion? I don't know.
I don't know. I think I'm going to get a panic attack before seeing Endgame, because, like, it's 11 years of waiting for this.
I know.
11 years of anticipation. And then it's here. Like I'm getting panicky just thinking about it.
I read an interesting article on IO9 that was basically saying that 2019 is going to be the year of pop culture finales.
Interesting.
So
Game of Thrones.
The Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
In regards to Star Wars, obviously the MCU kind of as we know it now is coming to an end. The Fox X-Men universe will be coming to an end.
Yeah. Damn.
Not that we necessarily care about this, but Gotham will be coming to an end as well.
I honestly didn't know it hadn't ended yet.
The final season of Gotham. There are some other pretty big ones on there actually. Pop culture finale. Glass,
yeah.
which we don't really care about. Big Bang Theory, definitely don't care about.
Jesus.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I'm so excited for that movie though.
Yeah, Lemony Snicket, which you've already seen.
It's so good.
They
do it justice.
Yeah, Toy Story 4. I mean, we assume it'll be the last one, but they said that about 3. And then, of course, John Wick 3, which may not be the end, but, God, talk about movies I'm excited for in 2019.
Yeah.
John Wick.
Damn, I didn't realize everything was ending this year.
Yeah, a lot. I mean,
that's kind of sad.
There's a really lot. I mean, they also have It on here and Mr. Robot, but...
Well, it doesn't count.
Well, I mean,
that's a 2-part movie.
But I think they acknowledged it because it was such a huge phenomenon when it came out.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's what's specific about it is that it is a definitive 2-part thing. It's not like it's going to be an ongoing franchise, we assume. I don't know, maybe they'll find a way to shoehorn a third movie out of it.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like a very finite, like 2 film thing.
The balloon maker was behind it the whole time. Pennywinkle, he's just a red herring.
Damn you, Angela Lansbury.
It's actually Carl Fredricksen is behind it the whole time.
Oh, what if they live in different time periods? Like, what if Carl Fredricksen meets Angela Lansbury and they just decide to like coast out the rest of their remaining years making balloons for children?
Be nice.
Maybe it's like the Lake House. Maybe they operate the same balloon stand, but they're separated by time, and they just write messages to each other back and forth on balloons.
Perfect.
All right. Comic book movies.
Shazam,
aka the other Captain Marvel.
Yes, I will rephrase what I just said.
Yes.
It could be great or it could be bad. I'm very worried now.
I kind of am too after Aquaman.
Yeah.
I mean, we've obviously just heard us talk about this. Aquaman was batshit. I feel like this might be as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. We'll see.
I can only have so much faith in Zachary Levi, and his inflatable suit.
Yeah, the suit doesn't look good, does it?
No. But I mean, it again. We said this for 3 years now. DC knows how to cut trailers.
It's true,
and they're very good at getting butts and seats.
Yeah,
they just can't finish after that.
I mean, we got Mark Strong as the villain. I think he's good.
Well, do you remember the last time he was a DC villain?
I've never seen Green Lantern, but I've heard he's good in that.
He is.
I think he's always good, even if the movie around him is bad. So no matter what, we get to look forward to a good Mark Strong performance.
Yes.
Yes. A strong performance, one might say.
Shut up.
All right, then after that, Hellboy.
I am not excited for Hellboy.
I have mixed feelings. It's one that I could very well see myself end up not seeing. I might just pass it by.
Mm-hmm.
I had fun with the trailer. We talked about this a bit. Hellboy looks weird.
It's the hair for me.
It's the hair in the face. It's just not. He's not distinct.
Well, I mean, Ron Perlman is so iconic in that role.
Yeah.
That I was 10 years old when the first Hellboy came out.
Okay, yeah.
And so that I knew about that before I knew about the comics, before I knew about anything else. Mm-hmm. So that's always been kind of the definitive Hellboy for me.
Yeah.
And so seeing someone else take it on, it's like 10 years from now, if we have someone else take on the role of Iron Man or Tony Stark, it's going to be weird. And people are going to nitpick. It could be great, but it's going to be weird.
I suspect, I don't know. I mean, they've recast minor roles. Well, I guess they've recast major roles technically with the Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been.
I mean, the Hulk is mainly CGI.
Yeah,
so people kind of
that's true.
glance over that. I think the Joker is kind of the biggest one.
Yeah,
and Batman.
Yeah, but mostly, I mean, they've been pretty. Marvel specifically has been pretty consistent.
They've been amazingly consistent.
So I suspect that instead of recasting characters, they'll do different iterations. So we might end up seeing is like a Riri Williams Ironheart movie down the line instead of a new Iron Man movie. Just
Yeah.
like the way we might see someone take over the mantle of Captain America. Which I'm on board for.
Yeah.
We know we're not going to see at least Natalie Portman play Jane Foster's version of Thor because she's well and done with that franchise.
Well, they broke up.
That's true, yeah.
But it was mutual.
It was mutual. Obviously, it was mutual.
Yeah.
But
But Hellboy, yeah, I mean, I'm going to see it because I have a problem.
yeah, you do. Which problem are we talking about, though?
The main one.
Oh, okay. No, we'll probably end up seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, this is the
Hellboy.
problem. Is the big hitter
Is in the middle.
is the middle right there, Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Again, 19 films, 11 years, 20 films,
21
films.
21 films prior to it. Yeah, it'll be 22.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about Captain Marvel. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be big.
It's going
Do you want to go see the El Cap again?
Never.
I want to go find that Spider-Man. I want to go find that kid.
Never.
Just give him a hug. Like, hey, do you want to go see?
No, like I'm going to insist like we have to go to like the ArcLight
Okay.
where like adults go to see movies. That being said, I went to Bumblebee there and it was full of kids, but they were
Yeah.
actually well behaved
Yeah.
kids. So, yeah, never again, never again.
We knew Chinese.
Oh, we could do.
That's just crazier people.
We could actually, yeah. If we can get it, if we can get tickets ahead of time, IMAX at the Chinese theater would be
That'd
pretty
be
awesome.
pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a good way to end that series.
Yeah. Plus, that movie is people take it seriously, and that theater is so big that even if someone's being annoying, you can't really tell.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're sitting next to them, which has happened to us before.
I mean, you sit next to me every time.
God, and I don't know.
And I'm sorry.
Just constantly giving you a wet willy the entire time. Endgame, it's probably gonna be the best.
Yeah. I mean, nothing on this list is going to compare to that.
Yeah, I'm looking at
But
the rest
we
of
also
it.
said that, and then Black Panther showed up. So.
That's true. Black Panther was pretty fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
After that is Dark Phoenix. I read a rumor that some people have seen it and they say it's as bad as Fan
I also read that, and that makes me so excited.
Like, it just what's
If you're comparing it to the train wreck,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
like what's really disappointing about that is that the Dark Phoenix is a great storyline. So to see it fucked up twice,
God, I can't
It
wait.
would be so sad. I just like, that's like one of the biggest travesties is if you take a really good storyline and you just kind of fuck it up so that it's kind of hard to do it again. Like, I'm really curious to see. I'm sure eventually we'll see someone try and tackle the death of Superman again.
Yeah.
Because they really botched that thing. Bless you.
Sorry, thank you.
They really fucked that thing up. But yeah, it sounds like it's gonna be fucking terrible. I mean, I do. There's only one moment in that trailer I really like though, which is when Eric's like, "There's always a speech, Charles, and you're always sorry," which I feel like is what all X-Men audience now say to Fox every time they put out a new movie. They're like, "Oh, this one, like, we really tried to focus on making it more like the comics and like really making it great. We get the last one was bad," and we're like,
Do you?
we see
Do you
through it now.
understand how bad it was?
Yeah, we're way past fool us thrice at this point.
Fool us 7 times.
We've been fooled so many times. Nope. It's probably gonna be terrible. Still gonna see it.
Still gonna see it. I gotta know how bad it is.
Yeah, that's exactly
I
it.
have
It's
to know.
morbid curiosity at this
Yeah.
point. Plus, you know what? McAvoy and Fassbender are always good in those movies, even
Yeah.
if the movies around them are bad. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we got Spider-Man: Far From Home,
Yes.
which we still don't know a lot about.
We don't. I think we're gonna get a trailer soon.
Yeah.
I think it's smart of them to. I mean, it's.
I think it comes out in July.
It comes out in July. I had a very strong conversation with someone about
A strong conversation.
very
huh?
strong.
Was it with Mark
conversation.
Strong?
Yes, it was with Mark Strong.
Was it with Tara Strong?
Yeah, also with Tara Strong. Yes,
Oh, good.
it's on my other podcast.
Yes.
Strong Speeches.
Was it with Stretch Armstrong?
No,
Was it with the ghost of Neil Armstrong?
well, Lance Armstrong was on there.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, he's easy to get these days.
we can get home. We can get a better alliteration.
Long and strong.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Long and strong. I had a strong conversation with someone at
Strong
the wedding.
along.
What?
Strong along. It's a good play on string along.
Okay.
There we go. Nailed it.
Nailed it. With a guy who's equally passionate about films as we are, but he's from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm also from the Midwest, but he still lives in the Midwest.
Yeah.
We're talking about advertising and how in LA things are advertised very differently than in Dallas and Kansas and Utah and not Utah.
Yeah.
In Iowa. And I was giving him my pitch of how they should advertise for Joker, which we'll talk about in a second. And he's like, no, that's great for you. But when I'm talking to my family or friends about these things, they have to see 8 trailers before they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, right. Some people don't know things.
Yes. Some people are not as obsessed with the stuff as we are / live in the town where it happens.
Yes. And so what I think would be smart for Marvel in LA is to not have a trailer until after Endgame, because they want to keep the illusion that he's still dead. And so if you show him in a trailer, it kind of breaks that illusion.
But like what? Release a trailer everywhere else?
You can't really do that.
You can't do that. That's the thing. It's
yeah.
like once the trailer is out, it's out. And also like, so like, I think what's
and Endgame is May. I guess that's not. I mean, that's late for your first trailer.
There will be a trailer before then. There
Yeah.
has to be. There absolutely has to be.
I mean, hey, Solo didn't get his first trailer.
And look how well that went for them.
Until, what was it, 80 days before the movie
Something
came
like
out?
that. Oh, God. But
that's hilarious.
What I find ironic about all this, and let me...
Isn't it ironic?
Thank you, Alanis.
As Alanis would say.
What is interesting about all this is, let's give Marvel credit for generally being pretty good with their marketing. I think especially of late, they've gotten pretty nailed down.
I have an idea. Sorry.
Okay, but the funny thing is that the whole thing is, if you put out a trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home before Endgame, we know Spider-Man's alive again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so that's like kind of a spoiler, right? But you already know that. Like, that's the thing. It's not really, it's kind of a spoiler that has already been spoiled in a lot of ways. So just put out a trailer. It's like, people aren't, I think, going to care that much, or if they do, there's nothing you can do about it. They kind of put themselves into a corner.
Remember, there was a kid openly sobbing in front of us when the snap happened.
I know. I can't forget it. But it doesn't...
That kid lost his parent in front of us.
Because I shot them.
Yes. Because I gave them the pearl necklace.
Outside the theater.
Spider-Man 3.
Here's
my idea. Here's what I think. They're not going to do it, but I think it'd be cool if they did it this way. Mm-hmm. No one knows Mysterio. He's such a weird villain.
Yeah.
That even people kind of knew the name Vulture, but no one knows Mysterio. Mm-hmm. What if the first trailer didn't have Spider-Man at all? It was just Mysterio ruining the city. Or just they could do it one of two ways. I think it'd be really cool if the trailer was his origin story, so you didn't have to put that in the movie.
But that's not how these things work.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I know this is not what's going to happen.
You work in marketing.
But I think that'd be so cool, is if the trailer is setting you up for the villain, so you know what you're getting into when the movie starts.
I mean, that could be interesting if pretty much the whole trailer focuses on Mysterio.
Yes. I think that'd be awesome. And Spider-Man's not in it until you see the title.
Or a tease at the end, being like, wait, this is a Spider-Man movie?
Yes.
What? That could be interesting. Maybe they'll do something like that. I don't know.
They won't.
No, they won't. But
they won't.
It's we already know
they're
he's...
cowards.
We already know he's coming back, so just give us a goddamn trailer. I'm sure we'll see one pretty soon here.
Yeah. What do you think is going to take the... Star Wars, never mind. I was going to say, what do you think is going to take the Super Bowl's trailer spot? I'm like, well, Star Wars, obviously.
Oh, so we're probably going to get...
Probably get 2 or 3 big trailers at Super Bowl. We usually get 1 or 2 good ones.
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably a Star Wars?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be Star Wars. Nothing... Endgame is huge.
Yeah.
But it's fucking Star Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
It's the grand finale of Star Wars.
Yeah. But people aren't super... I mean, even I'm not super hot on Star Wars right now.
I know.
I'm just kind of burnt out on it.
Middle America.
That's true.
LA is very small compared to
I know.
Middle America.
So after Spider-Man, which
I'm excited for Spider-Man.
I think faith at this point. Faith in Marvel, faith in...
Tom Holland is great.
Good old Tom Holland. And
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
And then it's John Watts, I think is the director.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fine.
God, what if it's John Waters? John Waters Spider-Man.
Oh my fucking God, that'd be amazing.
There's just someone draws like the pencil mustache on Spider-Man.
Yes.
Love it. So after that, we got New Mutants.
Yep.
Does anyone care about this
No.
movie? Like, I think if it had come out when it was supposed to come out, like
Last March.
2 years ago,
March 2017.
I think I might have been a bit more interested. But at this point, I'm like, it's clearly going to be terrible.
Yes.
And also, at this point,
Who's even in it anymore?
Anya Taylor-Joy, the brother from Stranger Things, can't remember that actor's name. I mean, we know.
Oh, Maisie Williams.
Oh, that's right, Maisie Williams in it.
Antonio Banderas is in this?
Of course he is.
What the fuck?
Look, I think if the movie came out when it did, there would have been one thing. But now we also know the X-Men universe is ending.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way that
Disney's... Charlie Heaton.
Oh, Charlie Heaton, yeah. And there's no way Disney's going to incorporate that into whatever their new version of the X-Men's going to be. So it's also just completely moot. And like, if it looked like it was promising on its own, that would be one thing. But given that it doesn't look promising as its own standalone film, and on top of it, it's not even going to tie into a larger story.
And I think the appeal of it in 2017 was we've never had a story like this where it's kids kind of learning about their powers.
Unless you've seen Sky High.
Unless you've seen Sky High. Damn right.
Underappreciated gem, Sky High.
But since it's been pushed back 2 years now, we've had The Gifted. We've had Runaways, which are both doing very well. Like
Yeah,
Runaways
they are.
season 2 just came out. I'm halfway through it and it's good. It's fine. We've had kind of an expansion on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Like there's so many other routes that have taken this story idea and just already done it presumably better.
Well, even there are some loose similarities between that and Stranger Things, beyond just one of the actors. But it's still like a show about teenagers, only one of them with powers, but teenagers in a kind of horror environment. And Stranger Things is doing so well that if they had put it out before we've had so much Stranger Things, people are like, oh, like, okay, they're kind of like capitalizing on some momentum here. And like, sure, maybe this is fine. But now we're like, well, we'll just go watch Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And it'll take me 5 times as long to get through it, but I'd just rather watch that.
Yeah, I can do it at home too.
Yeah.
And I think if it would have come out back then, I think you would have had a big pull from the, what's the big FX show that everyone loves?
Oh, American Horror Story.
Yeah, I think that would have been a big pull for this. Like that's it. The first trailer looked like, fuck, we've had a trailer for this movie for 3 years. I forgot we had that trailer before.
My God.
Like I think that would have been a big pull of like all of that audience that doesn't really care about superhero films, but they love just like the eerie.
Yeah, horror and
And I think that audience is kind of past now.
oh, yeah, I think that's all.
I completely forgot we already have a New Mutants trailer.
Wait, hang on. I'm trying to see when this launched. Published October 13th, 2017.
Yeah. God damn.
And maybe there's even was there more than one trailer? It doesn't matter. Also, what asinine advertisement? So I click on the YouTube link for the New Mutants trailer. The big ad up in the corner is, I can own X-Men Apocalypse on YouTube.
Yeah, you can. $2.99.
That sentence just continues to get worse as it goes along. God damn it. $3.99.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. They could offer to give it to me for free and I would not want it because it would just clutter up my page. Don't want it. No, that I'm sure is going to be terrible. And then the last one.
Ended on a high, middle?
I don't know. Yeah,
No.
Joker.
Yeah.
The weird-ass Todd Phillips directed, Joaquin Phoenix starring Joker movie. That's,
Martin Scorsese produced.
I don't know if he's actually not listed as a producer anymore.
Okay.
But Bradley Cooper and his production company are.
Great.
For what I've heard,
Can't wait to see Lady Gaga.
Right? The Gaga. I've basically heard that this movie is more or less a remake of The King of Comedy, which is a Martin Scorsese film with Robert De Niro, where he plays like a stand-up comedian. It's like that, but the main actor becomes the Joker.
Okay.
What the fuck is that?
Sure.
What does that even mean?
I'm so exhausted at this point.
I know.
Not just this list, with these recordings.
I know, it's true.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be good. Obviously, I want all of these to be good.
But they're not gonna be.
But yeah. And I don't have hope for this anymore.
Let's end on a more optimistic note, right? We are going to get inundated with a lot of stuff that we don't care about. Some of it will force ourselves to watch. Some of it will probably just pass entirely.
Mm-hmm.
But there are 3 movies coming out next year in the comic book space. Yes, they're all Marvel, but all of them I'm excited about.
Yes.
And I think they all have potential, and I think there's enough confidence there to be like, you know what? Those are all going to be good. We can look forward to those. 2 of them, at least, certainly one, are going to be like
unbelievable.
I mean, just franchise changing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the MCU will be completely different probably after Endgame.
And we talked about kind of the big boom of animated superhero films. Unfortunately, with how long it takes those things, we're like, if producers see that as a change, which I don't think they will, because Into the Spider-Verse it's doing fine box office wise, but it's not like game changing numbers.
No, but it's doing well.
Incredibles 2 though is now the highest Pixar film.
Oh, is it?
Almost beat Frozen as
Wow.
as biggest animated film of all time.
Really? That's interesting.
It's like 10 million behind, I think.
Everyone loves Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.2 billion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're
Right
not gonna,
on.
right? Yeah, good for
Yeah.
them. But Spider-Man's only at like 300 million right now.
But I mean, I think it's still doing. I mean, we know
Yeah.
we're getting sequels and
Yeah,
spin-offs.
it was a risk. Like Incredibles 2 wasn't a risk.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those movies where the critical success has been so pronounced that they're definitely going to capitalize on that. Because also Sony desperately needs a win.
Yeah,
Desperately.
everyone does. Warner Brothers needs a win.
I mean, Warner Brothers had a really good year.
Did they?
Well, so Aquaman at the end of the year did really amazing, but Warner Brothers produced Crazy Rich Asians,
Oh, that's right.
so they made a fuckload of money off of that.
Yeah.
And I think Star is Born actually did pretty well. That was one of theirs.
Well, I guess, yeah, I just kind of glanced over this. Aquaman is the 5th highest grossing movie of this year. Fantastic Beasts is 10th. Ready Player One also did very well. The Meg, god damn it.
Oh yeah, it's actually hang on. Yeah, look at Warner Brothers. Yeah, Star is Born, Aquaman,
they killed it this
Crazy
year.
Rich Asians, Fantastic Beast. Ugh, my least favorite movie of the year, but everyone already knew that. Yeah, The Meg, Ocean's 8, Ready Player One. The Nun, I think, did pretty well. Rampage, motherfucker. Game Night, I think it actually did pretty decently.
Good. I hope it does good. But yeah, so I mean, we still have a lot of good things to look forward to in 2018 or 2019. Like aside from the movies, we have the Lego movie coming out. We have the finale of How to Train Your Dragon, which looks
Really?
like I'm gonna fucking lose it in the
I know.
theater.
Really excited about that.
We have the string of Disney live action, which are gonna be hit or miss.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough,
we
I
have-
think Dumbo
we
is
have
going to be the
three-
best
we
of
have
them.
3 this year, don't we?
Yeah, we have Dumbo, Aladdin, and Lion King all this year.
Oof.
And honestly, I think I'm weirdly enough most excited for Dumbo, just because I
Yeah.
want to see Tim Burton's Elephants on Parade.
Yeah. I think I'm probably most excited for that too, just because I still think The Lion King is kind of a why does this exist?
Yeah,
And the stuff from Aladdin so far is looking okay, not super promising.
I know
but
they said they're going to release CGI Genie soon.
Why didn't they just do that
I
first?
don't know.
It's like
it's so frustrating.
it's really bizarre when a company like Disney makes such a boneheaded decision like that.
Yeah.
Like who thought that was a good idea? Like who didn't think, well, the whole point of these movies is to capitalize on nostalgia. Watch any of the trailers. Like the trailers basically thrive off of, hey, look, that thing you love, but it's like that, but like new and slightly different.
Yeah.
To then just be like, here's Will Smith in a goatee and ponytail.
Yeah, like that's fine. You can release one of those photos, but you also have to release a Genie photo.
Yeah, like, and it's not like you at this point. They must be far enough in post production to have like a digital version of it. My God, they were able to like way back in the day put out like that teaser trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy after filming for 7 days and still do full post on Groot and Rocket.
Yeah.
No one could fucking Photoshop Will Smith with some blue paint.
I did. It looked very
I bet it did. It
frightening.
looked better than-
It's no. I made it scary.
And it looked horrifying.
We have all those coming out. We have John Wick 3 coming out, which is exciting.
Yeah.
We have Godzilla, which is exciting for some people.
Mm-hmm. Men in Black.
Men in Black International.
That looked fun.
Detective Pikachu.
That also looked fun.
So fucking excited for that.
Yeah.
A third Kingsman, which would be interesting.
But that one's going to be set, I think, in World War I, starring Ralph Fiennes.
I'm down.
So I'm kind of on board for that.
What does he find?
The true meaning of Christmas, Cameron.
And then ending on a sour note is the Sonic movie.
But you know what else we have to look forward to in 2019, Cameron?
Friendship and World Peace.
Well, certainly one of those two. You guys can guess which one. But no, Static Shock. To tie it back to what we're actually supposed to be here to talk about, we will be watching Static Shock and recapping it this year.
We will.
This year.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to bother trying to do the math right now.
I'm so
but
excited.
before too long, we'll be doing your favorite of the shows.
Gosh.
I know. That's very, very exciting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm excited now.
See, there we go. Energy's back up.
Yes.
We've regained hope.
I'm back.
Yes. On my
I'm
planet,
back, baby.
He's back. But yeah, we are finally done with this.
Yes. Thank you for listening to this very extensive part 1.
Yeah.
of 2
Look forward to
parts.
part 2. Oh.
Yes.
Actually, part 2 is really, really good.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very exciting stuff. But yeah, if you want to reach out to us with your favorite comic book movies of 2018 or what you're particularly looking forward to in 2019.
Oh, also, we're not going to. We can go into the animated, the lesser animated superhero films. The Death of Superman Part 2 is coming out soon.
Oh, I still haven't watched the first one.
Didn't you see it at Comic-Con with us?
I wasn't at Comic-Con this year.
That's right.
I was in Hawaii.
That's right. You picked your fucking family.
Yes, I did.
You son of a bitch.
Yes, I picked my family. Actually, what I really picked was a week vacation.
Free vacation.
A week vacation in Hawaii over going to one of the craziest places.
How dare you?
I know. I'm a monster.
That's fine.
Maybe in 2019 I'll get my comeuppance.
Let's see.
Let's hope. But yeah, if you I don't know, have thoughts on anything at this point, reach out to us.
If you're feeling something, if you just want to talk, if you just want to say hi,
yeah,
we're here.
We're here. We are at Timm Talk Pod on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Gmail.
Damn right.
I am at Lordifer on Instagram and Twitter.
If you want to see my art, you can find it at Cameron.Dexter. I'll be updating that at some point. And if you want to see my face, you can find that at CamDexter_adventures.
You did it.
I did it.
Well done.
I'm going to Disney.
Yay! We're all going to Disneyland.
We're all going to Disney.
I mean, by everyone, I mean you.
Yes, just me. Only
Yes.
me.
Only you.
We'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.